This travel trailer is the Keystone Coleman model number 13R. The MSRP is $13,256, but as you can see, the show price is well under $12,000. The unloaded vehicle weight is 2,436 pounds. The cargo carry capacity is 1,064 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 3,500 pounds. The hitch weight is 336 pounds. It measures in at 15 feet 11 inches long, and it can sleep up to 2 people. The gray tank holds 34 gallons, black tank also holds 34 gallons, and the freshwater tank holds 28 gallons. When you first walk into this travel trailer, you walk right into where the bedroom is located. Then we wrap on around into the kitchen area. To my right is where your bar top dinette is located, and behind me here is the bathroom. Now, our first impression of this camper is, man, what a great couples camper this is, and in addition, for the price point, you really can't beat it. I mean, you have everything that you need in here for a fantastic camping weekend, and the price point is super low, and it's small and easy to tow as well. Now, on my right-hand side here is where the bed is located. This bed is, you know, sort of in the corner here. We do have a bit of a side table to the bed as well. And so let's get some measurements on this and see what we're working with. This baby is 74 inches by 55 inches wide. And so this would be considered a short full-size bed. A residential full-size would be 54 by 80. So it's a little bit on the shorter side, but you know, it's certainly enough to be able to enjoy a fun weekend of camping. Now, up above that, we have this big open storage shelf on top here. And you certainly can't drive down the road with things up here. They would all fall off while you're bouncing around. But once you get to the campground, you can set this up with all your clothes, and you are good to go for the weekend. Down here on my right, by this end table, is where you have an electrical outlet and also some USB ports, so you can plug in all of your electronics. And also on my right is where the TV would be mounted, and then you've got an outlet and also a cable up top here, so you could put a TV here, watch TV from bed, and then if it's on a swivel arm, pull it out, and then you can also watch TV while you're sitting at your bar top if you want to enjoy a meal and watch a game or something on TV while you're doing that. Now, underneath of this bed, it does lift up, and you can get to your storage compartment here at the front of the RV. There's also a door outside to access that area. We'll show you that later in the video. Now, opposite where the TV would be mounted is where your window air conditioner unit is in here. Now, some people are going to be like, oh, I don't like window air conditioners. Well, they work, and they work really well. The big advantage of these is they don't take up a lot of space. This is really the perfect size for this RV. If you had a big rooftop air conditioner on here, I think it would freeze you out most days. So this works great. It's the right amount of air conditioning for this size. And if you ever have to replace it, it's just a couple $100. So not a big deal. Not like replacing one of the big rooftops, which would cost you $1,000 or more. The kitchen area in here is great. It's all in a line. It's what we call an inline kitchen. It's the most efficient use of space for a kitchen. Starting up top here, we have this nice big cabinet with lots of storage inside. And then you've got your microwave oven. Below that, you've got a nice rectangular sink with a gooseneck faucet overhead. And then we have an induction cooktop here as well. This also has a fan that actually vents outside of the RV, so that's a really great feature in a very inexpensive RV. I really like that a lot. Many RVs just have a recirculating fan, so when you burn dinner, you just blow the smoke back into the RV. That's no good. And then you have a lot of countertop space in here for a small camper. I can't get over it. So you've got a receptacle or an outlet here. You could plug in your coffee pot, toaster, margarita maker, whatever you want. You got plenty of space there for it. Underneath of that, we have a refrigerator here. And this fridge does not have like a little ice tray section to it. So you probably want to get like a countertop ice maker or something like that and use it in your trailer. We wrote an article on rvblogger.com about the 5 best countertop ice makers that are out there. I used to have one, so I know all about them. I'll put a link to that article down below. So if you want to get yourself an ice maker for your trailer, you'll know which ones are the best. Below this, below the cooktop, we also have 3 drawers here for all of your kitchen utensils. And then there's a little bit of storage under the kitchen sink as well. Now here we are at the bar top dinette that's in here. And these bar tops are becoming more and more popular in smaller travel trailers. A lot of folks don't like the old booth dinettes anymore. They take up a lot of space and they're a pain in the butt to make into a bed and then unmake and all that. So these bar top dinettes are becoming more and more popular. They come with a couple of stools, so you can sit right here and enjoy a meal. And it's got this nice big window over top of the countertop. And this looks out onto the campside of your campsite. So you'll see your, your picnic table, your fire ring, your chairs, all your stuff will be out here. And that's a great view in my opinion. At the end of the countertop here, there's also a receptacle, some USB ports. So if you need to plug in any electronics, you could also use this as a workstation if you'd like. Down here on the end, you just have even more countertop space. So if you wanted to, I don't know, make your coffee station over here or whatever you needed to plug in, you could set it up over here and it would work out just great. They've also got a fireplace in here. It's in a little bit of an odd location, but at least it can add a little bit of ambiance to the camper. This also puts out some heat. So if you're camping in the fall or the early spring and you need a little heat in the mornings, boom, there you go. You can turn on your fireplace and heat up your rig. Or at night, if you're relaxing watching TV, you can turn on the fireplace, get some ambiance and some heat that way as well. In addition, there's also some storage underneath of the fireplace and next to it as well. It's all open storage, but it's there and it's usable. And in a trailer this small, you need all the storage space you can get. Now here we are all the way in the back of this trailer, and this is a very basic bathroom, but you're buying a very inexpensive camper. They don't even have a shower surround in here. They just use the trailer walls, and then they'll take silicone caulk and go over every single corner, every joint, and make sure it's all sealed up so no water can leak. But as the RV owner, you're going to have to really be vigilant and make sure all these caulk joints stay tight and don't get any cracks in them. If they do, you're going to have to peel out the old caulk and put a new layer of caulk in there to make sure everything stays watertight in here. For you guys that are more DIYers, you can actually install your own shower surround. It's just 3 pieces of plastic that get glued up against the wall. They're very easy to install. I've done them myself, and they're really a piece of cake, and they're inexpensive. You can buy the stuff at Home Depot, so it's really not hard to do. But it's a very basic setup. We have a vent overhead that does not have a fan, so it's not an exhaust fan, it's just an opening. So you could at least open this, get some more light in here, let the humidity out while you're taking a shower. Not bad at all. And then, you have a shower curtain in here. That's what I would expect to find in an RV like this. But you could always remove the shower curtain and put a retractable shower door in here. And that's easy to do as well. I'll put a link in the notes or the description down below so you can find the best retractable shower doors for your RV as well. You can install them in any RV. They're really not hard to do, and they're not that expensive. Now, I will note there's no place to put your soap or shampoo or any of that stuff in here. So Susan and I, in our RV and even at home, in our home in Maryland, we have a 4-chamber soap dispenser that mounts right on the wall. Stays out of the way. It only comes out off the wall maybe 3 or 4 inches, and you pour your different soaps and shampoos in there, push the button, they squirt right out, and there you go. You got some shampoo, you can wash your hair, or some soap for your wash rag, and that's a great thing to use. So I'll put a link in the notes down below for that as well if you want to check out the one that we use. It works fantastic. Now let's get a couple of measurements inside the shower. You guys know, if you've watched any of our videos, I am 5'11", and the height inside of this shower to the ceiling is about, it's about 6'1". Up into the vent, you could eke it out up to about 6'4". But for you taller guys, you might have to crouch down a bit in here to take a shower. And then the overall ceiling height throughout the entire RV is about 6 feet 6 inches tall. So not a bad ceiling height in here at all. Now the shower width is coming in at about 22, 23 inches. That's the depth, I should say. And the width in here is 36 inches. Not too bad at all. Also in here, I'll note there are no places to hang up your towels except for this one towel hook. There's no other storage in here or anything. So I would probably You know, maybe I would mount a medicine cabinet on the wall over here so I could at least put some of my personal items away. I would buy a better towel rack than this. We have a fantastic one in our Class A RV that we use, and I'll throw a link in the notes below if you want to check it out. But it can hold 4 towels. It separates them all so they can dry, or you can put them all together so it's space saving. You need to do things like that in these smaller campers to personalize it, but also to make it way more functional, because this just comes with the basics and then you need to add on to that. So don't be afraid to do things in your camper. You know, one of the funnest parts for us of enjoying our camper is making it our own and adding things to it that make things more convenient and easy for us, and we really enjoy that. So sitting on the commode in here, I'm not going to pass the elbow test on my right, but on my left hand side we're passing with flying colors. Outside of this RV, like we showed you inside, there is a little bit of storage area up front. So in addition to accessing it from underneath of your bed inside, you can come outside, lift this door, and access all your storage items. And they're on the camp side of the trailer, which is fantastic. 3 great reasons to join our private Facebook group called RV Camping for Newbies. Number 1, when you join and share your email address, you'll get a free subscription to RV Today e-magazine. It's full of tips, inspiration, and real stories from real RVers on the road. Number 2, you'll get our weekly newsletters. Our newsletters are full of great RV info, how-to articles, giveaways, and our exclusive video reviews to help you make the most of your RV life. Number 3, you'll be part of our amazing community of over 250,000 RVers. Even though we're called RV Camping for Newbies, this group really is for everyone, and the experienced RVers love helping out the newbies. So we can all join in the group, share our favorite camping spots, gear, and travel tips. So click the QR code on the screen or head down to the link in the description below so you can join RV Camping for Newbies today. We look forward to seeing you inside the group. This travel trailer is the Highland Ridge Open Range Colt model number 17BH. It has an MSRP starting at $16,343, but as you can see, the sale price is under $12,000. It has an unloaded vehicle weight of 3,010 pounds, a cargo carry capacity of 940 pounds, for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 3,950 pounds. The hitch weight is just 310 pounds. It measures in at 21 feet, 3 inches long, and it can sleep up to 6 people. The gray tank holds 19 gallons, the black tank also holds 19 gallons, and the freshwater tank holds 30 gallons. When you first walk into this travel trailer, on the right-hand side, you'll find the bedroom location. Then we wrap on around through the dinette and kitchen area. To my left are the bunks, and behind me is the bathroom. Now, our first impression when we walk into this travel trailer is that it's a great little family trailer, especially for a beginner RVer or a family that's just getting started doing some camping together. Why is that? Well, it's small, it's lightweight, it doesn't have any slide outs, so you don't have to worry about maintaining those or worry about them getting stuck or anything along those lines. So it's a fantastic camper that's got everything that a small family would need for a weekend getaway. Now, starting up front here, we have the bedroom area. Over top here, we've got this nice big storage area here. It's wide open, so you can throw all your stuff up here, but I wouldn't throw things up here in travel mode. They may bounce off and fall down on the bed, but you could always install some cargo netting or something like that to hold things in place while you're traveling down the road. On the right-hand side here, we have a mirrored wardrobe cabinet with a bar up top, so you can hang all your garments in there. And then there's a little bit of an end table here, or a nightstand. It does have a couple of USB ports and an electrical outlet. So if you need to charge any electrical devices overnight, you can do that. And then this is also where your TV would be mounted. So there's an outlet up top and a cable and everything here for you to access. You can mount your TV here, and it's really a good spot for it because you can see it while you're laying in bed. You can see it from the dinette. And if you pull it out and angle it, maybe the kids could even see it from their bunks as well. Now let's get some measurements on this bed. See what we're dealing with here. Okay, this is 80 inches long and 60 inches wide. So this is a residential queen size bed that's in here. So that's fantastic. Most folks will be very, very comfortable on here, and especially you taller folks, because you get a residential sized mattress in here. I like the way they did the back wall or the front wall of this camper in a little different material than the rest, so it just kind of calls out the area a little bit. And there's also a good deal of storage under here. You can access this storage underneath your bed mattress just like I am now, or from the outside compartment door. And we'll take a look at that when we go outside and look at some of the features out there. You'll also notice that there's a wall-mounted air conditioner in here, and that's here for a couple of reasons, right? This trailer is very inexpensive, and so this helps to keep the cost down. A wall-mounted air conditioner might only be $200 or $300, where a ceiling-mounted one would be over $1,000. So this helps to keep the cost down. It also helps to keep the weight down in the RV, which allows you to have more cargo carry capacity. And if your air conditioner ever breaks and you have to replace it, it's very easy to do so, and it's very inexpensive as well. So just beyond the bed is where the dinette is located, and kind of starting up top here, we've got some nice cabinet doors that are in place, plenty of storage up there. Below that, we have a nice sized window with a shade that'll pull down. I like how they have this little window valance here. It makes it look a little nicer, and especially for an entry-level camper like this, that's a nice little feature to have. It just jazzes it up a bit. Your dinette here could seat 4 people pretty comfortably, I would say. And there's also storage under one of the dinette booths. Now, this table will drop down, and you can convert this dinette into a bed. So if you're a small family of 5, for example, you can make this work as well. And so if you convert this into a bed, you'd end up with about 70 inches by, we'll call it 38 inches wide. And so, you know, one more kiddo could be able to spend the night here. So if one of your kids has a friend and they want to tag along, maybe you stick them on the dinette. Now, just across from the dinette is where the kitchen is located. This is what's called an inline kitchen. All that means is that all of your kitchen features are all in a line. It's the most efficient way to plan out a kitchen in a small space, and every RV is a small space. So starting from the top, we have these 2 really big cabinet doors that open. Plenty of storage up there. Next to that, we've got our microwave oven over here. There is a little bit of a cubby hole under the microwave, and so you could store some stuff in here too, but you do need some cargo netting or something here to hold things in place, especially while you're driving down the road. I love the fact that they put the propane burners in here front to back rather than side to side. I do think they could find a skinnier burner assembly though to give you more countertop space. Countertop space is a premium in a smaller RV, and so every extra couple of inches you can gain, I think, is a good thing. Next to that, we have a single bowl sink here. It's a little bit on the shallow side, in my opinion, but it'll work for washing the dishes. You might get a little bit of water around the countertops and stuff, but no big deal. Unless you ask Susan, she thinks it's a big deal because I get water everywhere. Anyway, you also have a gooseneck faucet here, and then next to that, a little bit of countertop space. There's also a receptacle right here that you can plug into. So if you have a coffee pot or toaster, boom, there you go. You can plug right in. Underneath of your kitchen sink, there is ample storage under there. And then we even have a couple of drawers over here for your kitchen utensils. Now, just beyond the cooktop is where the refrigerator lives. Now, I pointed out this storage space above the fridge. This is a really small mini fridge in my opinion. It's got a little spot up top for a couple of ice trays, and then it's just a compact refrigerator like you might find in a, maybe even a college dorm room. But I kind of think they should have gone with a bigger fridge and gotten rid of this empty space. And because for a family of 4 to go away for a weekend, they're going to probably need more food than this small refrigerator could hold. So let us know in the comments down below what you think about this. Should they have a bigger fridge, or is this really okay? Now, just across from the kitchen and behind the dinette is where the bunk beds are located. You guys know, if you've seen our other videos, when we evaluate bunk beds, we kind of look for 4 main features. They are a light, a window, an electrical outlet, and USB ports. This top bunk has 2 of those 4 features, the light and the USB ports, but that's fine. That's certainly sufficient if a kid's going to spend the night up here, or even an adult, and they need to plug in some electronic devices to either charge or just to use while they're sleeping or falling asleep. Everything's here that they would need to be able to do that. This light also turns on and off at location, so you could sort of use it as a reading light up here as well if you'd like to. Now let's get a measurement on the size of the bunk. This one's, we'll call it 73 inches by 29 inches wide, and so you know, an adult could go up here or a kid. I say an adult because this does have a 300-pound weight rating on it for a person to sleep up here. I always say in our videos though, you can't, if you're traveling down the road, you can't throw 300 pounds worth of gear up here because it'll bounce up and down and break the bunk. And the warning label here even calls it out. 300 pounds for sleeping, 200 pounds for storage. Now down below we have another bunk down here. This also has 2 of the 4 features. It's got a window and a USB port. And then underneath of this bunk, there's even more room for storage. Now here we are in the bathroom all the way in the back of this camper, and this is a very basic bathroom. Again, it's an entry-level camper. It's not going to have all the frills and nicer features that a more expensive camper is going to have in it, but for basics, it's got everything that you need. So here I am standing in the shower, and really it doesn't even have a shower surround. It just uses the regular trailer walls, and that's okay because all the walls in the trailer are water resistant. They have to be because you're out camping. You know, humidity and moisture and all that occurs. So these walls are okay to use for a shower. They just have to go and caulk all the corners to make sure that the water doesn't get behind the corners and then behind the walls. So that would be a very bad scenario. If I were to buy this camper, I'd have to inspect it all the time and make sure that these caulk joints don't crack, but I'd probably just go ahead and install my own shower surround in here, and then I wouldn't have to worry about it as much. Also in here, there are no soap or shampoo holders. We use one in our Class A RV and at home. It's a 4-chamber liquid soap dispenser that you just mount on the wall. It's up and out of the way. It's very convenient. And when it's travel day, we don't have to run around gathering all of our soap and shampoo bottles and put them away before we leave. So it's one less thing we have to do. The soap dispenser is perfect because it just stays fixed on the wall. I'll drop a link in the description down below if you'd like to check out the soap dispenser that we use. Also in here, they did install a shower curtain, and that's fine on an entry-level camper. That's what I would expect to see. Helps to keep the cost and the weight down in your camper. But if you went ahead and installed a nice shower surround in here, you could also go ahead and install a retractable shower door. In fact, you can install that whether you put the surround in or not. And I'll put a link in the description down below if you want to check out really good retractable shower doors. They're much more convenient than a curtain because they don't blow in and stick on you, and you don't run the risk of the grandkids or the kids pushing the shower curtain outside of the shower and getting water all over the floor. Now outside of the, well, wait a minute, let me get my measurements. I forgot. Let me get my measurements in here. So from the shower base to the ceiling, you have about 6 feet even, but if you stood in this vent area here, you would have as much as 6 feet 4 inches, and the regular ceiling height throughout the entire RV is about 6 feet 6 inches of height, so not too bad. Outside of the shower, again, it's very basic. There's nothing out here. I would probably mount a medicine cabinet on the wall with a mirror so I could see myself. I'd be able to store all my personal items there, and then maybe mount a nice towel rack on the wall here that could hold as many as 4 towels. We have a great one that we use in our Class A. I'll throw a link in the notes down below if you want to check that out too. But it helps to separate our towels so they dry, and it also helps so we can fold them up against the wall so they take up a lot less space. So check it out. I think you'll find it very interesting. Susan loves it. Sitting on the commode in here, even with the door shut, I'm very comfortable in here. But as far as the elbow test goes, can't pass it on my left, but I have plenty of room on my right. One other thing to note in this bathroom is that there is no sink in here. So if this was my camper, I would just mount some hand sanitizer on the wall, or some hand-sanitizer as my little granddaughter calls it. Mount that on the wall, and then you can get some hand sanitizer after you use the restroom, and you are good to go. Now here we are outside of this camper, and like I showed you inside, under the bed, there's a nice size storage area, and you can also access that storage area from out here on the campsite of your rig, which is fantastic. You can unload your gear and set it right up on your campsite. This travel trailer is the Gulfstream Ameri-Lite model number 134RD. It has an MSRP of $23,518, but as you can see, the show price is well under $12,000. The unloaded vehicle weight is 2,630 pounds. Cargo carry capacity is 1,270 pounds for an overall gross vehicle weight rating of 3,900 pounds. The hitch weight is 400 pounds. It measures in, it's 16 feet long, and it can sleep up to 3 people. The gray tank holds 34 gallons, black tank holds 33, and the freshwater tank holds 35 gallons. When you first walk into this travel trailer, on the right-hand side is where the bedroom area is located. Then we wrap on around through the kitchen and dinette area, and over my shoulder to the left here is where the bathroom is located. So our first impression of this travel trailer when we walked in is that, hey, this is a great small family or a couple trailer, certainly something for a beginner as well because there's no slides. But a lot of folks can tow this because it's very, very lightweight, so there are a wide variety of vehicles that could actually tow a trailer this size. So it's a very appealing trailer to a lot of people. Starting here on the right hand side though, we've got a nice big shelf up top here for all of your open storage. I wouldn't store anything up here while you're cruising down the road because it may bounce out, but you could always install some cargo netting or something up here to hold things in place if you'd like. The bed itself, we've got a window on the far end that you can open up. Even though it's an emergency exit, it's still functional. It has a screen, so you can open your window and then you could shut your screen door on this side and get some nice cross breeze blowing through here. There's also a little bit of a headboard here, or a footboard, I guess, depending on how you'd want to look at it. It would actually be a footboard, and I'll show you why in just a sec. So it's got a little storage here, and there's also a USB and an electrical outlet, so you can plug in any electronics overnight. And then this is also where your TV would mount on the wall, and so you've got an outlet and a cable antenna up top here. TV mounts here, your head go up there. This is a footboard, and then you're watching TV. So it all comes together that way. Also, underneath of the bed, you can lift up your mattress and access the storage compartment that's at the front of this trailer. It also has an access door on both sides, so you can get to that storage area from outside as well as inside. Now the kitchen area in here is very efficient, but you do end up with some decent countertop space in here, which is very impressive. Starting up top though, we have all of our controls right here in a very convenient location for you. And then we have a nice storage cabinet and a microwave oven. Down below that here, we've got a nice big window over top of the countertop and kitchen sink. 2-burner propane stove, which they did front to back instead of side to side, so I love that look. The sink in here is a little shallow for my taste. I wish they had a little bit of a deeper sink in here, but it's a decent size. It's not chewing up all the countertop area, and it does come with a gooseneck faucet overhead to make it easier to wash your dishes. And then you do have a little bit of countertop space in here, and for a trailer this size, this is a lot of extra countertop. So you could always just set up your coffee pot over here. You have an outlet right here that you could plug it right into, and you are good to go. Down below the countertop, we've got a couple of drawers here for all of your kitchen utensils. Under the sink, there's also some additional storage and even more storage underneath of the cooktop. So just around the corner from the rest of the kitchen is where the refrigerator is located, and it's just a mini fridge that's built in here. It does not have a freezer or even a little compartment for ice trays, so you're definitely going to want to get yourself a good countertop ice maker if you own a rig like this and you're not a beer drinker, because we like cocktails, so we need ice. And if you need ice, you probably need a countertop ice maker. I wrote a really good article about them. I used to own one, and so I wrote an article called The 5 Best Countertop Ice Makers for an RV. I'll put a link in the description down below if you'd like to check it out to get yourself a good countertop ice maker. Now, above the refrigerator, we have a couple of open storage units here. I would probably recommend going ahead and putting some cargo netting across here so things don't come flying out of here while you're in travel mode, but at least you have some additional storage. You could also argue that maybe they should have done a bigger fridge in here and included a freezer. But let us know in the comments below how you feel about that. Do you think a better fridge would be good in here? One with maybe its own freezer and then lose a bit of storage space? I don't know. Let us know in the comments. The dinette area over here, some trailers that we see actually put cabinets up here to give you even more space. They didn't do that in here, but you could always add them. It's really not that big of a deal. And if you don't know how to do it, just watch a YouTube video, man. There's YouTube videos for everything out there. But you also have a couple of lights here to light up the area. Nice big window here. And this dinette is actually on the camp side of this trailer, which I like because you can just sit here and look right outside and see your entire campsite. Now, this is perfectly set up for 2 people to be able to enjoy a meal together. And it also will convert into a bed. You can drop the table down, reconfigure the cushions, and it does turn into a bed. So if you did that, you would end up with a bed that's about, we'll call it 70 inches. And then the width on this is going to be about 28 inches wide. So, you know, one of your kids would be able to sleep here very easily. So for a small family of 3, this camper could also work, except when it's dinner time. I don't know where the third person's going to sit, but I recommend eating outside at the picnic table anyway. Couple little final details about the dinette area. Both of the dinette booths have storage underneath of them, so that's great. You pick up some additional storage space there. And there is an outlet on the wall under the table. So if you're sitting here working at your dinette, maybe doing some trip planning, you can always plug in your computer and keep it charged up. Speaking of trip planning, we use RV Trip Wizard for all of our trip planning. We've probably been using it over 5 years, almost 6 years now, and we love it. It works great. Not only do we use it for our trip planning, but then we use it as our GPS while we're driving down the road. And so everything works seamlessly together. If you'd like to get a 25% discount on RV Trip Wizard, just head on over to RV Blogger, join up to our weekly newsletters, and you'll get a special introductory newsletter from us with a 25% discount for using RV Trip Wizard. Plus, they advertise with us all the time. So in any of our newsletters, you'll see our ads and you can save a bunch of money on the best trip planning tool in the industry as far as I'm concerned. Now, here we are in the bathroom, and I'm standing in the shower like I always do. Now, you guys, if you've seen any of our videos, you know I'm 5'11", but I'll get some measurements while I'm in here. Let's see what we got. So from the shower base to the ceiling, we have about 6 feet 2 inches. Up into the shower vent, we actually have about 6 feet 4 inches. So for you taller guys, if you just stand right here, you'll be okay. Now the real ceiling height throughout the entire RV is 6 feet 8 inches tall. So that's a good amount of ceiling height in here. And the shower itself measures in at about, I would say, 23 inches deep. I'm going to guess 32 inches wide, and I am correct, 32 inches wide. So, you know, average size shower for a small travel trailer like this. Now, this is a entry-level trailer, so it doesn't have a lot of the nicer amenities in here. It does have a detachable shower wand, but that's about it. There's no shower surround in here. There's no place to hold your soap or shampoo. So if you bought a trailer like this, you buy it because you're a beginner and it's pretty inexpensive. And then you can add things into it to personalize it and make it more convenient. So if I bought this camper, I would add some shower surrounds in here. And that way I would know my shower area stays nice and waterproof. They've gone ahead and just used the regular trailer walls in here, but they caulk all the corners and everything. But that just means if you buy this, you got to really keep an eye on all your corners. Make sure the caulk joints don't crack, or you can then end up with water behind the wall. The other thing is they don't have a place for soap or shampoo. We actually have a liquid soap dispenser on the wall in our Class A RV, and at home we use it too. Mounts right to the wall. It's out of the way. Also, when we're in travel mode, we don't have to gather up all of our shampoo and conditioner bottles because everything's in the liquid soap dispenser. So if you want to check that out, I'll throw a link in the description below for that as well. Now, outside of the shower, there's nothing here. There's no towel hooks, no medicine cabinet, no nothing. So you could easily mount a medicine cabinet on the wall here, and that would give you a mirror and also space for all of your personal belongings in there. And then you could put a couple of towel hooks on the wall or maybe the back of the door. We have a really cool towel drying rack system that we use in our bathroom in our Class A. And it helps to dry the towels out really well because you can separate them all. But then once they're dry, you can squish them all up against the wall so it doesn't take up hardly any space at all. Once I'm out here sitting on the commode, pretty comfortable here with the door shut. You know, it feels a little claustrophobic, but not too bad. Some campers, I'm really close to the door. This one, I have much more room. No way I'm going to pass my elbow test on the left, but on the right-hand side, I've got plenty of room. So here we are outside of this camper, and as I mentioned inside, underneath of the bed, there's that big storage area, and this would be the access door from outside the camper. We're at an RV show after hours right now, and this is locked up, so I can't open it to show you. Hey guys, let us know which one of these RVs you like the most and why in the comments down below. We would love to hear from you, and we try to read and answer every comment. And if you want to check out even more RV reviews, just click the box on the screen right now, and Susan and I will see you in the next video.